And we're back on the Finding Strength podcast. Look, I can introduce us too, you know. You were shocked though. You should see your face. Like, whoa, she's doing it.
Take it away.
I'll take it away.
Take it away.
Take it away.
Sister.
Anyways, hey, we're doing something new today.
This is freaking scary.
No, it's not. It's gonna be fine. Just kidding. I'm scared too. So today we are going to do a segment called Closer Couples. We thought it would be kind of cool to, bring up a few questions that help couples become closer. So our intention for this is for you guys, our listeners, to go home and ask your significant other these same questions, and hopefully it will spark up a conversation and help you guys become a closer couple. We'll ask the questions here, and then Matt and I will answer them right from the get-go.
To the best of our abilities.
To the best of our abilities of what we know of them now.
And a lot of this comes from research, data that talks about how to improve your relationship with your significant other, your partner, right? Even like friend-to-friend relationships. One of the most important things in any relationship, and today we're going to talk about intimate relationships, couples, right? Is friendship. And being able to know your partner and understand what they are looking for and communicate to them what you are looking for, your needs, your wants, your desires, your hopes, your dreams. And John and Julie Gottman are pretty much considered the foremost experts when it comes to couples. And the research that's been done by them over the last, 40 years by John Gottman. One of the things he found was called love maps. And you can look this up. And they actually have a really cool app called the Gottman Card Decks. And it's pretty great.
It is great. We've actually done Gottman therapy. Me and you have. Yeah, we've done Gottman.
I've read
marriage therapy.
We've read
great stuff.
His book that I can't remember the name. Anyways, I've read a bunch of his stuff. I've been trained in Gottman therapy. I did couples therapy for a while. Now I don't do as much couples.
No, don't go to Matt for couples.
I'm not a couples therapist. Not my specialty.
He likes the trauma. Bring on the trauma.
Let's talk about it. Well, inevitably, when I do couples therapy, it ends up being like, let's talk one-on-one. Let's talk one-on-one. And we do deep work, and then we kind of learn how to communicate to each other more or less what it is that I need from the other person in relation to my experience and my narratives, my belief systems that I've created about myself because of my trauma. And that's kind of how I do it. Anyways, these love maps are really important. And so what we've done is we've kind of curated our own little love maps style questions that are going to be a little bit challenging to answer.
Yeah, I think so.
They're kind of designed to get us to go a little bit deeper and really become closer as a couple and find strength.
We're going to find strength in that. Can we talk about your shirt for a second and how it affects our love
for
each other?
Do you like it?
I can't. Oh my goodness. You're
losing me on Slayer.
I know, right? Like Slayer. Like you must never mind.
No, go ahead. What question do you have for me?
Do you want to kill somebody?
No, I don't want to kill anybody.
Rage, anger rage?
No, so here's the thing that people don't understand about metal, for me personally, like aggressive, angry, crazy screamo music. I used to listen to it a lot more than I do now. When I was a young lad, I used to love going to freaking rock shows, metal shows, and getting in the pit and throwing some fisticuffs, just freaking getting it. Oh, so fun. Nowadays, not so much. It hurts a lot. So we're going to go, me and my buddies are going to go see NoFX.
NoFX this weekend.
And Strung Out. And who else is going to be there? Face to Face. And Pennywise.
You're so excited.
Oh, dude. That's not metal. That's punk. And that's still kind of the same thing.
Where you kind of like
But pit. I love music. Music is a really important thing to me. And people that understand metal. And I wore this shirt for you.
Oh.
The people that understand why I have this shirt on.
I love it. No, you wore it for yourself, right?
No, I wore it for you.
For you. Oh, that's so sweet of you. All right, break out.
And I do
questions.
love Slayer. I do love a lot of Slayer songs. They're pretty great. Top 10 concerts I've ever been to, hands down, Slayer's on that list.
Really?
Oh, amazing.
Oh, I have to wear earplugs the whole time.
Yeah, it's pretty loud and aggressive and wild. But there's flames everywhere and friggin' guitar solos and the drums are amazing. Anyways,
Yeah.
okay. What do you wish I knew about your daily struggles?
Oh, that's a good one.
Out of the gate, going
Out of
deep.
the gate.
Let's go.
Oh,
Let's
man,
get closer.
I feel like you know a lot because we've tackled this question, I feel like, before throughout our marriage, and you're home a lot. He's home a lot. He works from home. So he gets to see. Okay, what's my daily struggle that I want you to understand more?
Me being home a lot is your
You're
daily
home
struggle.
a lot. I think that's my daily
Probably
struggle. No, because it's my office, and but you have your office downstairs. I call the whole house my office because as a mom, we do so many things, right? Like laundry, cleaning, like putting all of our kids' crap away because they like to leave it all over the house. But what is my daily struggle that I would like you to?
Well, it's more like, what do you wish I knew about your daily struggles? Because you have these daily struggles. I don't need to know what the daily struggles are.
No.
What would you like me to know about them?
I think maybe to know about them. Okay. I think what I would like you to know about them is when you walk into whatever room I'm in,
Mhm.
don't expect my full attention
That's very
right
fair.
away if you're needing me to meet you somewhere because you're excited to tell me something. Because I think my daily struggle is that I'm up here a lot
Yeah.
and I have my mental checklist.
Mhm.
And when I am doing something, I'm still also thinking about all the other things I have to do. So
Right.
I'm not super present when you walk into my space.
So would it be valuable to have like a structure to when I need to get your attention?
I think what we've talked about before that I've asked you to do is put your hand on me. And be
Oh,
like,
you want touch? So weird.
I like touch a lot. But I think because it helps me, the physical touch helps pull me out of my thinking.
Okay.
And then puts me in the present with you in the room. So I think what would be helpful is if you just kind of put your hand on me and be like, hey, I really need all of your attention right now. Is that something you can give me? And then wherever I'm at, I'll
That's
meet
good.
you with a yes or a no, or, or like give me 5 minutes and I totally can be all here for you.
I love that. And I
Yeah.
can relate a lot to that too, because my daily struggles are definitely, battles won and lost in my mind,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes. You get very
And
deep.
well, yes, I get really
Uh-huh.
deep in my thoughts and I get really I think the thing that's challenging in my current life is, man, do I have a lot of balls that I'm juggling.
Yeah, you do. You do.
And there's so many things going on, which is a wonderful problem to have. And I'm absolutely in love with life and all of the cool opportunities that are coming up and how we get to take care of each one and create this and create that. And it's really fun and very rewarding.
And also stressful.
But it is
Yeah.
stressful. And so what I think I wish you knew about my daily struggles is that they are harder than they're more challenging and they affect me more than I lead on.
Mhm.
I think you know
Okay.
that.
Yeah. I see that sometimes.
It's not that I'm faking
Yeah.
it.
No.
It's just I don't see value in really
You're not a complainer. You're
expressing
that.
how
Yeah.
shitty things are.
Yeah.
Like there's no
You
like
just
this-
sit with it and
It-
and continue with it until that feeling goes away.
well, and I
Yeah.
try not to fix it.
Yeah.
Because you can't
You
fix
can't
it.
fix it.
And
yeah.
when I get stuck in my head ruminating, trying to fix it,
Mhm.
it only takes me out of the process of being loving, which is what I
Yes.
try to be all the time.
Yep.
And if I just go from one thing to one thing to one thing rather than trying to do 10 things at once, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
So giving me the space to be able to do that, which you actually do really well lately.
I've noticed what you've done lately to help yourself, which
Mhm.
also in return helps me because
Mhm.
I can physically see it with my eyes,
Mhm.
is you have been writing down your list
Yeah.
with a checkbox. And then I see you check off and I'm like, okay, he's about halfway done. And it has helped me give you the space that you need to finish that before I come in, maybe adding more to that list, or, like totally getting you out of that headspace of what you're focusing on right now on that list. So that has helped me a lot when you write down your list.
So what I'm hearing you say is when I clearly communicate to you the tasks that I need to accomplish for the day, that's helpful because it gives you a time frame for when I'm going to be done and when we'll be able to spend time together.
Or just need your knowledge of something, or ask you a question, or I'm so excited to tell you something stupid that I saw on TikTok. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Oh, wow. We're going. Okay. I don't know if I want to do that one yet.
Skip it then. Save the super
Okay.
deep for the
What's
end.
one memory of us that you hold on to when times are tough? Do you want me to go first sometimes, or do you want to go first every time?
I don't care. I know this one.
Okay, go. If you got it, go for it.
So it's a recent one. So there's two.
Okay.
There's two. Our 17th wedding anniversary, which was just this February.
Yeah.
That day was very heavy and very beautiful. And it was like a beautiful disaster. We had our friend Sam's son's funeral, and then we went and celebrated our anniversary that night. And we had a beautiful conversation about life and how hard it can be. And we cried. And then we held each other.
Yeah.
And we just
really
loved on each other.
That's a really simple one. I love that.
Very simple. And then the other one was actually another anniversary, but I think it was like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I can't remember. We celebrated each other. Like, our intention was, I'm going to celebrate Matt. Matt's going to celebrate Brindy. And we kicked the kids out of the house. My mom took the kids. We had the kids the house all to ourselves. And we just dated each other that day. We literally stayed home all day. We ordered in food. We got in the hot tub. We gave each other presents. We went through our wedding album book and our baby album book, that first one.
It was our 15th anniversary.
Was that our 15th anniversary? Yeah. And we laughed so hard till we were crying. And then we cried so hard and just like held each other. Those are like, that will forever be stuck in that whole day will forever be burned in my brain. I would live that day over and over again. That was cool.
Mine's not so simple.
Of course, because you are not a simple man. As much as people think he might be simple, he's not.
No. It's Bora Bora.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That was
you could say the whole trip. So backing up.
Yeah.
So people don't think like we're freaking loaded and we can afford to go to Bora Bora. I've been traveling a ton. This was last March.
February.
Last March we went. A year ago almost. Yeah. And it's an amazing deal. Delta had never flown to Bora Bora before. And so we finally, this flash sale comes through and I just freaking use all my miles and fly us to Bora Bora. And day 3 in Bora Bora was absolutely mind-blowing. We spent the whole day together. We've traveled around on this boat. And then I have this picture of you that comes up on my phone. And it's you just looking out at that middle mountain, the Mote or whatever it's called there.
In the ocean. And
looking at, and you're just like in awe of the beauty of this place. And I've just always wanted to show you the world because I travel a ton and I love seeing the world and experiencing all this stuff. And I've just loved dragging you along on my adventures. And now you're like an adventurer like me.
I love it. Yeah.
And you kind of were just like going like, I can't believe we're here. And it was just this beautiful, simple, obviously extravagant moment. But to be able to see that much beauty in the world and having it just reflect in your presence and your kind of like way of being was absolutely mind blowing.
It really was. That was a magical. That I feel like I love that we're talking about things within the last couple of years because that was very pivotal for our
huge.
marriage. Like, there's one thing I will say, like, if you are struggling or like your marriage has taken a dip, like, get away together. Like, seriously, traveling, I feel like has helped our marriage in a way because not all traveling is like happy and like all your bags come and like shit hits the fan sometimes when you travel and you have to figure that out together. And I think that's so good. And we've had to like, I've had to man up, I should say women up with some of the traveling that we have done and realize like not everything's comfort.
No.
And so that's been super helpful, I think, for our marriage.
The other memory you did 2, so I'm going to do 2, but I'm going to combine 4 into 1, is every time like you've delivered one of our children, because
that is very magical. And
there's nothing like watching a woman.
I was strong, huh?
Oh man, pushing Liam out.
Woo! It's the hardest
10-pound
thing
baby
I've ever done.
10-pound baby.
That was really hard, and I did it. That was magical.
That was cool because nobody else was in the room. It was just
me and you.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay,
anyways, wow, that's deep too. Okay, we're going hard here. Here we go. Let's just do this one.
Okay.
What aspect of our future together worries you the most?
You answer first. What? What aspect of our what?
Of our future worries me the most.
Of our future worries us the most.
I hate thinking about worry in the future. I just think it's so useless.
You don't worry about the future.
But I'm going to answer the question honestly.
Because there are worries. You just don't bring them up. You don't give it life.
For me, the future worries usually revolve around kids.
Yeah.
And I guess the most immediate one is helping. Also, we'll start with Ezra right now. Helping Ezra transition into manhood and
adulthood,
and become, like launching, as we call it in the psychology world, right? Like leaving the nest and going out and building his own life. And that's probably the biggest worry that I have, because for us, our most tumultuous, difficult argument stuff is always around our kids, especially
that's the biggest.
Especially,
I would say we've
Ezra.
Yeah.
Lately, because he's just oldest and he's trying to figure stuff out. He's the first one.
And we're figuring it out for the first time as parents. Like we tell him all the time, like we're doing this together. You're being a child the first time and parents the first time together. We're going to screw up a lot.
Yeah.
And apologize a lot and figure things out together a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I would definitely agree with that. I feel like another one that I worry about is like retirement.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I feel like I think about that actually kind of consistently.
Interesting.
And I know, isn't that funny? Because I'm always like, okay, well, like, because we're self-employed. We don't work for anybody, and a lot of people already have like stuff like planned. Like when I see all these TikTok videos and they're like, hey, all you 21-year-olds, like, start putting your money in here. And by the time you're ready to retire, you're going to be a millionaire. And I'm like, oh, shit. I'm 36. I haven't done that yet. Should I be doing that? Yeah. So I would say that's one of my worries. But I'm like, I'll worry about that when I get to retirement. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
The reason why I don't worry about that is because instead of investing in like retirement accounts, which we are okay in that area, we've invested in really in me, in my ability to take the business where it needs to go and develop it into and create opportunities, which that's why there's all these irons in the fire. That's why, and that's so we're at this really pivotal time. It's kind of fun though. It's cool. Yeah, that's definitely a worry of mine too. Like what?
But I think that's right. Like kids, and then that, especially,
Also, are aliens going to come and destroy the world or help it? That's a big worry of mine too. So
he's being serious too, you guys. Like
I think they're going to be benevolent. I think the aliens will come and there'll be these kind creatures and they're trying to help us. So you
are saying you believe in aliens?
I don't believe in aliens.
Oh, the aliens
exist.
Like, duh. Right, Brian? Duh. Yeah. Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
Just the probability.
It's just the probability.
Just the probability.
That is. Okay.
I love it.
In what areas do you feel we are not on the same page?
Oh, easy. You want to say it at the same time? 1, 2, 3. Parenting. We got this down. Like, there's one thing we do know that we struggle with
Is that I'm right and you're wrong a lot.
is that you think that, and it causes a lot of
Friction.
friction. There you go. Yeah.
And the other thing that is really difficult for men, I'll speak for men as I talk to a lot of men, right, in marriage, and this is in data and driven and research and all sorts of stuff, is there's this idea out there, happy wife, happy life. So if I'm just agreeable and I just let her do whatever she wants and I just go along with the program, then everything will be okay.
Well, and our kids will be wusses.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's just
No,
been
that's not a
obliterated
real thing.
in data-driven anything.
Yeah.
Like, we have to have very hard conversations.
Yeah, we do. Very hard.
And those hard conversations are going to be around the things that are most important to us.
Well,
And that for us is definitely children.
well, and I think like we forget like we were raised by completely different parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so we view parenting
Very
very
differently.
differently. And I think we do a really good job at bringing both really good sides, to the table. And like, but we do have to, like, before we go in and talk to our child because they did something stupid, Matt and I actually have to talk so we're on the same page before we go in and talk to that child, because we just view it completely differently. And I feel like we do a pretty good job at now we do a pretty good job. It took us a while to get here, but we do a pretty good job at hearing each other out. We still have a hard time. I will speak for myself. I still have a hard time with some of how you want to handle the situation, but I also know that the way you want to handle it is a good way for our kids to like receive.
What's the thing that you have the hardest time with? So I can understand what that looks like.
Oh man.
You can even just do recent stuff. And you can be as personal as you want. I have thick skin. I can handle it.
Oh man. Okay, here's one I think a lot of women will agree on. No, that's like an old version of me. I used to hate when you would yell at the kids.
Yeah.
But like, and not that like you yell at our kids, but
Raise
like
my voice,
you
yeah.
raise your and very direct, right? Like I used to hate it, and we would fight all the time about it. Like, it's like if anyone's gonna yell at the kids, it's gonna be me. And then
The worst double standard. And then my thing is always double standards.
yes, yeah.
The stuff
Which
that you can do that I
It
can't
was
drives me
and I
bonkers.
will admit I was like, you can't yell at them. I can. Like that was a thing.
I
for a
can yell at
while.
them all day long, but you can't yell at them once.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
And so, but I now see the value in you showing up in that dad way of being very direct, which sometimes, but also direct.
Firm but fair.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I feel like for me, direct, like it was hard for me to take like direct, like, oh, ouch, that kind of hurt. But also at the same time, like I see the benefit as you as a father to be very direct with our boys, like as a man. And it took me a long time to see the benefit in that. And I appreciate that you stood your ground
Thank you.
on that
Thank you.
and help me through time see that was beneficial.
Well, and I've backed off on my voice raising
A ton.
I try really hard to never raise my voice.
It wasn't like, yeah, that's true. It was surprising when you would raise your voice.
Because it's loud. And I'm not a loud person
and you're not
until
allowed-
I yell.
And yeah.
and then
it's
it's
just
loud.
like, whoa. Dad
it's
just
shocking.
went out of it's shocking. And that
And-
takes me back to my childhood, right?
Right.
So I get very protected.
Well,
in that way.
and a lot of times it would come as it would be almost manipulative to get the kids to do what I want.
yeah.
And that's a dad thing. Moms too, but let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
In a relationship, as a man, I could yell and use my energy and my power and my strength to get what I want pretty much all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But is that really what I want? Or is
Oh,
that
yeah.
just me trying to be controlling? And I've had to work on that.
You have.
I've had to back off and realize that like, hey,
Well,
maybe I
because-
don't know what this kid needs.
Yes.
Maybe he knows better than I do what he needs. Maybe I should ask him some questions rather than tell him what I think.
And
Which is so not how things were.
no, it was like,
Right?
you listen to dad, you do what
Yeah.
dad says. Yeah.
And
And-
my dad's
but-
really good at that now, though.
Yes.
My dad is very good at having a conversation with me and teaching and
Yeah.
being patient. And he's a great, I absolutely, like my relationship with my parents now is better, I would say, than it's ever been in
I
my
think so,
entire
too.
life.
Yeah.
I trust them way more than I ever have,
Well, you
because I
are
can be myself.
Yeah.
you know, and I don't have to hide parts of me that I
Yeah.
did before. And that's been really cool. But I think the thing that's really challenging about dadding, so to speak, is that a major fear of mine, and I've heard a lot of men express this fear too, is feeling like we're failing.
Yeah.
And if I personalize my child's behavior, make it my own, his accomplishments, make them my own, I'm going to take very personally when he makes mistakes.
Mhm.
And so I'm going to come in heavy handed and strong and overly intense and, you say direct, but really aggressive
Mhm.
to get them to do what I think they should do to fix the problem so that I don't feel like a failure. And I try really hard not to do that, but that's very innate within men.
Can I share, and you can agree or disagree, but when you would show up that way, you did not like the way it made you feel.
No, I'd feel
and
shame after.
You feel a lot of shame afterwards, and I think that's
When I would
you,
yell aggressively to
Yeah.
get what I want
you
rather than be a
hate-
parent.
Yeah, you hated it, and and I feel like that's when you started looking at, I don't want to feel this way anymore when I parent, and I think that's when you started like realizing like, I got to make a shift here. That was really cool to watch you do that.
Yeah, it was not easy.
No, and you like humbled yourself, and like I think you and Ezra have such a great father and son relationship because you had that awareness. And now like we'll talk to Ezra and be like, well, what do you think we should do for your like what should your consequence be? Like, let's talk this out together rather than we go in heavy handed and like, all right, you're doing this and you're doing this. And like, we're kind of like learning it together, which has been really cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
bad.
Remind me the question.
In what areas do you feel we're not on the same page?
Oh yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Parenting. That's, I feel like that's really
Parenting.
the only, do you feel like there's other stuff? Is there anything else? Parenting's are definitely our number one,
Oh, it's tough.
but
Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying to think.
that's pretty common.
Yeah.
Fortunately for us,
Money's not. We got that figured out.
we're stable, which is great, but also
Of course, we want to make more money. Who doesn't?
of course, but
Yeah.
we also want the same things financially, which is great. We're
Yes,
aligned.
That
and
is
get
true.
along
We are
well.
aligned on that.
Sex, pretty good.
I mean, the passion we've always said has been there,
We have great.
so we're not worried about
That aspect of our relationship has
I'm trying to
never
think,
been a
is
problem.
there really anything else?
I'm just trying to think of the big ones that couples struggle with. There's several
Yeah.
things that couples argue about the most.
Communicating, but
Communicating, we try that.
Luckily, we've had to do the work to get to the communication that we are now.
Our weakest area, we know this because we went
Oh, it
to
is.
a
Families strong.
like we went to a Stronger Families weekend
Families, yeah.
retreat. We did a couples inventory questionnaire thing, and what we found was that our weakest area is conflict resolution.
Yep.
Which we've been working on.
We have been working on that since we've come home from that.
That's not easy because I
No.
like to resolve conflicts differently than you do.
Well, and I have changed the way that I handle conflicts and how to resolve them. I don't do it how I used to. Like, I've realized I've changed with how I now fight, I guess is the word you could say.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't yell. We
low
used
blows.
to yell. Oh, and I used to I would freaking go for the jugular. I'm a Barrett, okay?
Yeah, I
like,
was-
you want to fight? I'm gonna freaking. But I don't do that anymore.
Thank
I
goodness.
used to. I know.
It's bad.
I know. You're a good man for still sitting here in this chair. Thanks, babe.
Yeah, I think what we've figured out is if we can, I would say the best thing we've learned about when we're not on the same page and we do need to resolve conflict
Mhm.
is letting our nervous systems regulate
Mhm.
and then coming back. taking breaks
Yeah.
cannot be overstated how important it is to take breaks when it
know.
comes to
It's
conflict
so
resolution.
little too, and people are like, "Oh, really? That's what it was." Yes, it really was. It was us walking away from each other when we
20
were
minutes.
heated. And
20 minutes.
Oh yeah, it wasn't 5 minutes.
20 minutes.
We were told 5 minutes, and I was like, "I need longer."
No, it's
Like,
20 minutes.
And I feel like that seriously
Game changer.
has been a game changer in
Huge.
our marriage and with our parenting, because we've started doing it with our kids.
Yep.
And it's been huge with them, because we all know how emotional teenagers can be.
Psychotic.
They're up and down all the time. So, yeah. What's the
How
next
would you like me to support you more?
one? Ooh, how would I like you to support me more?
Yes.
I think just what you're doing already.
Really? I don't have to change
Um,
anything. That's
So,
fantastic.
well, no, but doing it
Go
more.
me for the win.
Yeah. Doing it more though is I've been on my own journey of figuring out how I want to show up in this world,
Mhm.
and being a mom, I think a lot of women can relate. We don't want to like just be a mom, Some of us do, which is great, but I had this sense that I wanted to do more. And
Well, and every human being on the planet, mom, dad, whatever, is going to have a transition in their life that we
Yeah.
call the midlife, where they come out of being just this
a mom.
thing
Yeah.
and having to become an individual.
Yeah.
Whatever that was
Yeah.
into what it will be, that's the process of aging. And as
Yeah.
you've gone through that process.
So I feel like I've gone through that process because, like, getting pregnant at 19, I didn't really get to like go and figure out what I want to do and be. And
No.
so I feel like
I kind of stole that from you.
I feel like
I guess we stole that from each other, I guess.
yeah, I feel like I'm kind of on that journey, with life coaching, and I have found something that I truly love doing, and I love helping people heal. And it's taken me a while to have confidence in that. And I just love when you see me push myself and you say something. I would love more of that.
Okay.
When you see me do something that's hard for me and you're just like, hey, Brindy, good job. I'm really proud of you. I know that's hard for you. Like, keep doing it. It looks good on you or something, Yeah. Just recognizing those moments.
So support me more would look like on the days when the kids are around and I have things that need to be done, just because that's the nature of business and school and all of the stuff that we're trying to accomplish and create right now. On the days that the kids are home, I feel a lot of pressure to be with the whole family. And if I'm not there, then I'm not showing up and that there's something wrong. So on those days, maybe we figure out how to have a little bit more structure or support for me around having some space.
Do your duties. Yeah,
well,
you
there's days where it's freaking Sunday.
Yeah.
And I have stuff due that night
Yeah.
for school, and I have to get ready for Monday. And it's like, we got to go out and do stuff as a family. And I'm just like,
I do that all the time. Every Sunday, I'm like, family day.
I'm like, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah.
And it sometimes turns
Sometimes it
into
does. Yeah.
conflict.
Yes.
And so creating more space for that and maybe communicating around that a little bit more and just being, I think, just more understanding that I have to do stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's not about leaving you behind or not being a good dad. It's just, that's just the nature of my current status in life.
So if I maybe have an idea of what this Sunday is going to look like, come and talk to you about it, because you're going to have an idea of what your Sunday looks like too.
Sure.
And kind of bring them together.
Because my assumption is the thing that you don't like is when we have an idea of what things look like, and then I come in and I say, well, hey, actually, I got to change some things because there's some stuff that I didn't tell you about.
Very hard for me. You are correct. Yes. Like when it's like when the plan is set and we're eating breakfast and then all of a sudden that plan changes, I I do come a little upset or disgruntled. That's the word.
Sure.
I'm going to go with disgruntled.
We can call it whatever you want to call it. It definitely doesn't work. Conflict ensues.
Yeah.
And so my perception of that is different.
Yeah.
I'm not coming up and saying, hey, it's breakfast. I'm now changing all the plans for the day. My conceptualization of that moment is we have no idea what's going to happen today.
Yeah.
Here's a couple of things that I need to get done throughout the day.
Yeah.
I might even be able to do them later. I'd rather do them earlier than later so I can free up my time and then spend time with you guys.
Mhm.
Hard part is when kids are home in the morning,
Yeah.
they want to be entertained.
Yeah.
And this is an area that I think is really challenging for parents.
Mhm.
Is this generation of children are not like we were.
Mm-mm.
Mom and dad would say, get the hell out of the house, lock the door behind us, and we would play all day.
Mhm.
Drinking freaking hose water, running over to the freaking
Neighbors,
neighbors,
the next neighbors.
but
Yeah.
that's just not how these children are parented.
Mhm.
And there's this idea that like maybe even our little neighborhood is like this weird place where nobody plays together.
Well, because we live on a main street.
I-
That is the story.
Maybe that's not true.
Yeah.
I hear this all the time from people that their kids just want to freaking watch TV and play video games all day.
Which I don't let my kids
And
do.
we don't let our kids do
Yeah.
that. And when the kids go
I
out
hate
to
it.
try and play on the weekends
They
and all the
need-
other
they
kids
need some
are
help.
in their house watching TV and playing video games,
Mhm.
we're just like, what? So now it's on us to entertain these kids.
Yeah.
And that is a big challenge for our generation,
Mhm.
for the millennial parent and the Gen X parent. And so we're trying to figure out how to do that. And I think that is probably one of the biggest challenges that we face in parenting right now. And I don't know if you listeners, people,
Agree
viewers
or
can
not. Yeah.
relate or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but
We don't
what-
know what to do about that.
What I'm hearing you say though for me is to, I guess maybe like, do you want me to communicate with you on what I think the day looks like, and then you communicate with me what
Sure.
and then we kind of go from there and make it work for both of us
And add in flexibility when it comes to
something
that
like
kind of stuff.
that
Because
moment.
there
Okay.
are days where I thought I was going to get a bunch of crap done that I didn't get done, and it's Sunday and it's got to
It's
be
like,
done today,
yeah.
and there's nothing I can do about it. But I try really hard to get it done before the weekend.
Yeah.
That
You
doesn't,
do.
doesn't always happen.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I can work on that.
If I lost my memory,
Oh,
what's the
wow.
first thing you'd tell me about us?
Wow.
Brian's like, whoa.
That's a if you lost your memory.
I now have amnesia. Boom! I remember nothing. You come to me and you say, first thing about us.
Damn.
I know what I would say. Your favorite thing to do is have sex with me. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh. You're so stupid. You probably would say that too and then just laugh about it. Be like, just kidding, Cuddy. Just kidding. Just kidding. Oh my gosh.
That would be really hard.
It's so funny you're asking this question right now because I literally just watched a video the other day.
Of course you did. About me dying.
No.
Oh, okay.
About this mother who had amnesia or
amnesia. This
Yeah.
is about death. This is about amnesia. Same thing.
and she and the daughter was there trying to like show her things and help remind her, and she was like, don't call me your mom, don't call me your mom. And it was breaking my heart because this poor girl was trying to connect with her mother, and then by the end she was able to kind of remember a few things. But honestly, I don't know what I would say to you, but I think what I would do is just keep loving on you. And whatever your confusion was, I think I would just try to comfort you.
Sure.
So, but I'm trying to think like something to say to maybe spark to remind, like to remember. I
What's
don't
the
know.
it's more like this question seems to me like hey, I'm teaching you about what our relationship is.
Mhm.
And I want you to understand that this aspect to our relationship is really important to us being us.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is just like, we started off doing the hard thing.
Yep.
And we're going to finish off doing this hard thing.
We've
And
always done the hard
we've
thing.
always done, and we've always
And
done the hard thing well.
and I'm not leaving you.
I'm not leaving you. I'm here. I'm going to love you every day, even if you don't remember who I am. I'll try every day till you can remember me.
Sex every day. Got it. Okay.
You're so stupid. My gosh. Men are simple. No, you're not. You think you guys are simple. You're like, oh, all we want is sex. Bullshit. No, you don't. You want emotional stability too. And you want to feel safety and secure that you can be emotional in front of us women.
And then finish the night off with a steak.
Sex. So
The glass of
stupid.
whiskey. Just kidding.
You're so dumb.
I'm just teasing people.
I know you are.
Okay.
Wait, aren't you going to answer that question?
I did. Didn't I not answer?
No, I answered it. What are you going to do
I
for
thought
me?
If you lost your memory, what's the first thing you'd tell me about us? I already said sex. Just kidding. What would I say? I would say no. I was agreeing with
You
you.
were
I would say
agreeing
the
with me.
same
Oh, okay.
thing. Like we've been through really hard stuff.
Mhm.
Like our life together is this combination of really big, difficult moments met with a whole lot of love
Mhm.
and discipline and tenacity
Mhm.
and understanding. And I would say to you, if I wanted to explain you to you because you'd forgotten who you were, I would say the most important aspect to your character is that you nurture, love, and care with reckless abandon.
Aw,
That's your thing.
yeah.
And you are unapologetic about that, which I love. So don't stop doing that.
I'll try not to.
Yeah, don't lose your memory either. That's not good. We'll just go to the next one because these are all tough.
Okay.
Why?
Is this the last one? I think this is the last one, isn't it?
There's a couple more.
Okay.
Why do you think I fell in love with you? This could be the last one if you wanted to.
Why do I think you fell in love with me?
Mm-hmm. We'll do two more after this.
I think you fell in love with me because you saw the potential that my love could grow to.
Mm-hmm.
I think you saw my heart, my intention of my heart in the very beginning.
Yep.
And I mean, I was pretty damn cute, so.
That didn't hurt.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think.
And my ass.
Maybe. Definitely.
No, I know.
Yeah. I'm an ass man. What can I say? For real though, why I actually fell in love with you was because of your heart, and our energies matched.
Yeah.
And I'd never felt that with any human being.
There's a lot
ever.
of safety between us.
Wasn't safety for me.
Oh.
Might have been for you.
Me, yeah, I felt
It wasn't safety for me.
Yeah.
It was, there's this energetic, like, when we got together, it was like I felt more of me.
Mm.
I felt more like myself than I ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt there was safety there, but it was like this magnification of what we could do together.
Mm.
This potential
The
for
potential, yeah.
who knows. And it was exciting. And I wanted to just do a lot of cool stuff with you. And I was like, oh, sure. Why not?
Why do you think I fell in love with you?
I don't know, actually.
Come on, like really, like
I know. I'm gonna guess.
Genuinely, like don't say a joke right now. Genuinely,
Because of my sense of humor, actually, it was going to be my first answer.
that is true.
Do you like my sense of humor?
You made me laugh so hard that first night, and I do love a good sense of humor.
I think that's part of it, and that's probably why you fell in like with me.
Mm-hmm.
But in love with me was because I made you feel safe. Because I was honest and vulnerable with you, and I committed without, I don't
Mhm.
think you've ever doubted my commitment to you. Because I try to communicate that very clearly that I've
Mhm.
never, ever doubted my commitment to you ever.
Yeah, definitely for sure the laughter thing. But I don't think I ever met someone who was so honest with their words. Like what you were like what you say is what you get. You like I was what? This is cool.
Authenticity, man.
Yeah, you just were very
That's good.
direct and you told me what you were feeling. Like you let me in on up here. And that was very attractive. I was very attracted to that because I wasn't having to guess what you were thinking. You would tell me.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to do that more.
Yeah.
Second to last question.
Okay.
Besides cheating and lying, what else destroys a relationship?
Oh man.
I can answer first.
I feel like there's so many things that could end a relationship.
Obviously, cheating and lying are big things. So honesty becomes a huge important part.
Yeah.
I think the thing that ends a relationship quicker than anything else is an inability to recognize one's own selfishness. Maybe even an unwillingness to recognize one's own selfishness.
Like this is your fault, not mine. I have no.
It goes into that. It goes
Yeah.
bigger. My needs are more important than your needs. I'm going to worry about getting my needs met, and your job is to meet my needs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a really quick way to end a relationship.
I agree.
Because what that's going to lead to, and the research would support this, this is Gottman 101, is that's going to lead to this feeling of contempt.
For sure. And I will admit first, like when we were active LDS, like there were sometimes you come in as our patriarch and be like, we're doing this. And I'm like, no, we're not. And I would build resentment towards you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I totally can see how that could break up a marriage for sure.
Well, and there's levels to a relationship. There's actually 3.
Yeah.
There's me worrying about getting my needs met, and your job's to meet my needs. That's level 1. Leads to divorce and separation all the time. Level 2 is me now worrying about meeting our needs, right? Because we have these needs that we have together, and we're going to try and work on them together, and we're going to make our relationship. But now, the third level of the relationship is me going, I'm not going to worry about meeting needs. I'm going to find out her needs and meet them. And I'm going to contribute more to this relationship than I take.
Yeah.
And I call that the 80-20 rule. If I'm giving 80% to the relationship and only taking 20, and you're giving 80 and only taking 20, we now have a 160% relationship rather than a 100% relationship.
Yeah.
But if I'm worried 50-50 about what I'm getting from it, making sure that it's fair all the time, that's level 1.
Yeah. And there's time, and we're really good about like asking, like, "Hey, what level are you at? Like, how much more do you have to give today?"
Yeah, that too.
Because we're not always like 80-20, but
no, but it's a mentality.
Yeah.
It's a
No,
mentality.
yeah, totally. It's a mentality.
Yeah. The thing you're referring to, we do a lot, which is cool. Where it's just like, I'm tapped out. Like I'm at 30% right now. I need some help here, and can you make up for my only 30 that I can give? And we communicate to each other what we're capable of, and that's been super helpful. That's a Brene Brown thing.
Yeah. I think so. There was 2 things I thought of. Something that could end a marriage. I think losing a child could, right? But this is the way that I took this question. And then the other one was like family members. Like how much are they in your life
big.
and in your marriage, and
Very wise.
and questioning your significant other's intentions, or something like that. I think that I don't think people realize how volatile it is to include your parents or your siblings in your marriage.
Friends, cousins, who gives a shit? It's you and me, babe.
Like
they don't know.
If you're complaining about your significant other, instead of complaining to someone that who's very personal in your life, like who's going to have their own personal opinion, take that information and go and talk to about it with your spouse and just be like, hey, I have something I need to talk to about, something really hard that has to do with us and has to do with some of the things that you do that bug me. Are you open to having this really hard conversation? Don't take it down to somebody else and talk about it, because they're not going to help you and they're going to be biased because that person is on your side. There are two sides to every story.
Or they're going to be on the other person's side, and you're going to perceive them as not an ally. You're
And
not going to
yes,
get.
yeah.
You're not going to get what you want.
You're not going to get out of them what you want. The only way you're going to get something out of your relationship to make it better is to communicate with that person you're having a problem with.
Well, because what is it that you really want?
You want your relationship to not fail.
You want to resolve the conflict.
You want to resolve the conflict. So
how is going to another person resolving any conflict? And really, like, if there's something that pisses me off about you, right?
Mhm.
And you do this thing that bothers me over and over and over, and I go to somebody else and talk to them about it, right? Cool. I've got it off my chest.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be super sexist for just a second. Okay. Sorry, ladies. You're the biggest culprits in this department. That's what the data says.
Yeah.
Men don't talk to each other about their relationships very much. They might bitch a little bit about their wives, but mostly what men are doing is talking about work.
Yeah. Or
and
football.
talking about
or
sports or whatever. But like,
yeah.
but what they're going to complain about
Yes.
is their job
Yeah.
and how hard it is, because that's how men relate.
Or it's hard for
maybe
them.
parenting,
Or
maybe
yeah.
their spouse, but women
Mhm.
love to talk about their spouses with each other.
oh, he does this and it's so annoying.
And it creates
Yeah.
these little clicky things. And the drivers of divorce, the majority of the time, upwards of 60% of the time, are women,
Yeah.
because of these kind of like cultural habits that we've created
100%,
around
yeah.
relationships, where I'm going to build contempt for my partner in order to create some alliances amongst my friends.
Mhm.
That does not work.
No, it doesn't.
Well
yeah.
said.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's a really, really
Yeah.
good one.
Yep.
The last question. What does living a good life mean to you?
Oh, man.
Big.
That is big. And for me, though, it is so simple.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what day was it when we did yard work? Like this spring break.
Yesterday.
So we've had spring break.
Oh,
and we
Saturday.
usually go somewhere for spring break. But this year, this is the first year we haven't gone anywhere. And it's been my favorite spring break probably so far because it was so simple. And I got a little bit of like friend time with my friends. And then I got like my time with my kids and I got time with you. But for me, I think it's just the simple of all simple. Like my everyday mundane life, like waking up with you, doing our cold plunge, getting our kids ready for school, having breakfast together, just having quality time with the people that I love. And that's usually just standing around in my kitchen with the people I love having a conversation. I just love it. There's something about being around my people who choose me to be their friend and I choose them to be in my life. And when we get all together in a room, I just think something is created so magically in that moment. But yeah, it's so simple. I don't need much.
That's great.
What about you?
I really, you've heard me say this before on the podcast. We are human beings, not humans doing, right? We're supposed to be, not do. And if you're worrying about all the things you're going to do all day long, you're just making a bunch of do.
You and your jokes. I love it.
This is one I use in therapy all the time, right?
Mhm.
Everybody produces shit. And we're all worried about our shit.
Mhm.
All this crap that I got to do.
Yeah.
And I make a bunch of crap and I leave it here for the world. That's cool. What are you trying to be? Who are you being? How are you being? What are you being? What does it mean to be you? And in the end, it always comes back to being loving.
Mm-hmm.
If you really stop, you can be loving right now.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the way of you or me or anyone being loving. And that's something that happens inside of us. And when I'm worried about what I'm doing, that's worrying about what's happening outside of us. And when we lose focus of what's going on inside, which is what this life experience is. It's an inner experience. When we lose focus on that inner experience and we're worried about what's going on outside of us, we lose sight of who we are. And being loving is what I think it means to have a good life.
Yeah. To
Because-
anyone who walks in our path.
Be loving. Be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
If you see a dude at a Slayer concert, falls on the ground, you pick him up. You don't step on him. It's jacked up.
But
We mosh
yeah.
together, people. We
No.
mosh as one.
And it as cliche as it is, like you really can change somebody's day by just like giving them a smile or opening up a door for a mom who's like trying to push in her stroller and hold a baby. Like it's like just like,
Simple.
simple. It really does come down to that. It's about the we,
Yeah.
not the me.
So true.
Yeah. So
Well, I hope you liked this episode.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
yeah, it was fun. I hope you guys enjoy this like new segment. We're gonna give it a try and see how it works out. And
Yeah.
you know, if
We'll
you
see what we
have
do next time.
questions that you want to send in to us and like you think are great questions to help, you know, couples become closer, send them in. Like I would love to get some questions from our viewers and see what, you know, see if they have anything to throw in there. But yeah, we appreciate you guys and
Thanks.
I love you.
Love you too.
Mhm.
Thanks. Finding Strength podcast is sponsored by Avantacool.
Avantacool.
Avantacool. It's a fun word to
It
say.
is a fun word to say. What is Avantacool, Matt?
Avantacool sells cold plunges. Avantacool sells infrared saunas. Check out Avantacool at avantacool.com. If you use the code STRENGTH24, you will get a discount of 25% off any Avantacool products. How amazing is that?
That's a good discount. It
It
really
is.
is.
Do you like our cold plunge?
I love it.
It's nice, huh?
It is really nice.
great.
Stays clean.
Stays
it's
clean.
perfect. Whatever temperature I want it to be at, I can set that, and it's great.
We love it.
Go
Worth
check 'em out.
every penny. Check them out. Avantacool.com.